Good afternoon. Welcome to Spotlight. I'm Dina Ventura.
I'm Jojo Silvestre.
We have this afternoon a very special guest.
Yes. Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to introduce our guest.
Yeah, whom Jojo will introduce.
Yeah, I think I'm excited because we do not only have a good-looking guest, but he's also an achiever.
Very accomplished man.
Yes. He is one of the most hardworking and productive senators in the country. Mm-hmm. He has authored. I'm not sure with my term now if it's authored or sponsored, but we owe it to him to have such laws as the Free College Law, Rare Diseases Act, Mental Health Law, and Seafarers Protection Law, among others. 200
I'm sure.
na.
Wow.
Okay. He was representative of his home province, Aurora, from 2004 to 2013. And after that, he became senator. So he has been senator of the Republic of the Philippines since 2013. He's also multi-awarded. Parang artista, no? Well,
Pwede rin.
he's one of People Asia's Men Who Matter. He is an outstanding Manilan awardee.
Wow.
In 2017. And I think he's one of the best dressed men of the Philippines.
Yes.
So may we yes, it's very important, especially for today, because this is for Father's Day, no? So special.
Our Father's Day special episode. Yes.
Yeah. He is married to Tutsi Angara, one of our bestest ladies and most beautiful faces in the country. Yes. And they have 3 children. Manolo, who is now in Spain. And then Ines, that's the daughter. And then another son, Javier.
Cute.
So we present to you Senator Sonny Angara. Hi, Senator.
Hi. Hello, Jojo. Hello, Dina.
Welcome.
And to everyone watching, I'd like to greet them a good day. Salamat sa very kind introduction ninyo.
Grabe, very impressive ang credentials and all accomplished. Starting when you were the youngest lawmakers in the land, di ba? When he was only 31, I think.
London School of Economics.
I know, wow.
Dati yun, bata tayo, Dina. Ngayon, hindi na bata masyado. Maraming mas bata na.
What I'm saying is like you started out really early and you just...
I started out, I was about 30. And then, now I'm almost 50. So, hindi na bata.
Talaga?
Doesn't show though. Anyway, Senator, kumusta naman yung pandemic? I mean, we've heard about what happened to you in the past, but how has the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, affected your personal life, your work? How has it changed for you? I mean,
Well, I was really affected personally kasi isa ako sa mga unang biktima ng COVID, Dina, no, and Jojo. I got it around March 26 na diagnose ako na positive. Last year of 2020.
Okay.
Medyo natakatakot yun kasi at that time very very little was known about COVID, the disease. So it was a scary time. I spent 10 days in the hospital, but since then we're okay, and I think it's good that our government has exerted efforts to bring a lot of vaccines to the country. So I think itong second half ng year things will be looking up. We know many people. Marami tayong mga kilala, yung mga seniors natin, yung mga health frontliners natin, health workers, doctors, na vaccinate na sila. And our policemen also, our firefighters, yung tinatawag na economic frontliners have also started getting vaccinated. Tapos yung ibang cities sa Metro Manila, I think, have started their yung tinatawag na A5. That's for the marginalized sectors, yung underprivileged. So very good. Dahil yun talaga, alam mo naman sa urban areas, malalapit sila. So that's where COVID tends to spread. Maganda na meron tayong ganong vaccination programs.
Senator, let's shift gears kasi malapit na ang Father's Day in a few days. So, what aspects of being a father do you enjoy best? Ano ba ang nakaka-enjoy sa pagiging ama, tatay, father, papa, daddy?
Well, it's a great responsibility, no? Parang to bring people into the world and to train them for life. It's a huge responsibility given to all of us. Responsibility and opportunity. But be that as it may, marami rin akong kilala na nahirapan magkaanak. So I think we'd like to count our blessings in that respect. And kahit yung mga nagkakaanak, minsan there's an increased case of autism, for instance. We're lucky in that sense na our children have no, knock on wood, wala namang serious ailments or diseases. So I just count our blessings. We're very lucky to have had 3 children. And the fact na yung immediate family namin, my wife Tutsi, my 3 kids, we all share a household, and mas yan nakikita sa we have 2 sons and a daughter. Maswerte kami. We just count our blessings in that sense. So every aspect of fatherhood is really quite enjoyable. For some are more enjoyable than others. The warmth of feeling the love of kids. Kids can be very affectionate, and minsan you just walk through the door pag galing kang trabaho, batiin mo lang sila, they hug you, tanggal lahat ng tanggal lahat ng stress mo, tanggal lahat ng iyong inaalala sa buhay.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, what are your plans for this year's Father's Day?
For this year's
Father's Day,
wala, sa bahay lang kami because of the naisip namin mag-restaurant kami, pero sabi namin it's better to be safe siguro. We'll just stay at home. Mag-order lang kami ng pagkain, whatever the kids want to eat on that day. Wala naman kami, we don't prepare too far in advance. We're quite spontaneous in that sense. Kung anong gusto namin kainin sa araw na yon, yun na lang. It's so easy nowadays, di ba? You just call the restaurant or go on one of the food apps, madali na.
That's true.
Si Senator is isa sa ating pinaka-prolific na legislator. Ang sabi rito sa ating research, 200 laws daw ang he authored, sponsored. I don't know the difference between
maybe we should ask him, what is the difference?
Ano ba ang kaibahan nun, Senator? And then also, Senator, ito ang pinaka-kon talaga. I cannot imagine he's able to help legislate and produce all these laws. But at the same time, he's also a model father. Very loving father siya. I've seen him. I've visited them a few times. Parang gusto ko na rin maging tatay. Hindi naman ako pwede maging tatay.
So I guess our question is like, how do you balance it?
Yeah.
How do you make time for
Paano ba yun?
your family and still author so many bills?
But first,
Salamat, Jojo. No? You've been to our house and you see how nakita mo siguro medyo magulo yung bahay namin. Yun ang cost of being a father and a legislator. Hindi mo masyado naayos yung surroundings mo. Magulo talaga ang tirahan mo. Because
active talaga yung
before,
mga
at least
bata.
before COVID, madalas I have to go out of town a lot. So, minsan yung gamit ko nandun lang sa tabi. Hindi ko na naayos. If you look at my study, there are papers all over the place. So, it's not the neatest house in town, no? But it's really a challenge, I think, for anybody working, especially if you're a dual income household like we are. My wife also works. So, talagang, it's a challenge for us to make ends, to find that balance, to find that work-life balance. And we have to share the load in that sense because my wife works. So sometimes I do the parental duties, although I have to say she does a great deal of the parental duties, yung mga helping the kids in school, medyo ako din. Siguro because I'm older, I'm a little rusty na pagdating sa tutoring eh. Dito sa pandemic, nung homeschooling, parang one of the challenges for parents was really how to assist or how to serve as surrogate teachers sa kanilang mga anak, di ba? So yun ang naging challenge sa amin, but we really try to find time, and it's not always your typical family time na 3 meals a day or dinner time. Sometimes it's iniipon mo na lang, tapos sa weekend mo na lang i-devote sa kanila. You devote that time to them. So it's more about quality time rather than frequency or yung madalas mo silang makakasama.
Senator, nung bang before the pandemic, nakakapunta ka rin sa, like yung sa, may mga activities sa school, yung PTA, yung mga may scouting and all that, yung
Oo, we used to participate there. The schools nowadays, they have a lot of activities just for fathers eh. Like my daughter's school, meron kaming fishing dati. Nagpunta kami sa, I think it was Zambales, nag-fishing trip kami. Tapos yung anak ko naman, my eldest son, nag-camping kami sa, I think it was somewhere near Lipa, or where we went camping, overnight kami. So, yung mga activities na ganoon talaga, we really participate. And I think it's nice that the school arranges these things para you really have to schedule your time with your children. Otherwise kasi, baka yung iba, hindi nila nagagawa. They keep postponing it, di ba?
Pag sumasali si Manolo sa tournament, no? Because he's one of our top tennis players, ano, sa kanyang age group. Excited ka ba or ninenervous ka or do you do side coaching?
Actually, excited kami lagi. We're always very proud parents and very excited. Pero siya, ayaw niya yung masyadong nanonood kami sa kanya eh. Parang nape-pressure daw siya. So, he goes out on his own na. Minsan, gumigising pa yan ng alas 5, alas 4 para umalis ng pumuntang Laguna or Quezon to play tennis. But he's very, it's made him a very disciplined person, and yun ang kagandahan ng sports din eh. That's why kahit yung dalawang ibang anak namin, yung the other two, we're trying na maipasok din sila sa sports because you learn so many important values.
What's his rank ba? Paano ba yon?
Manolo's, before he left, he was ranked around, minsan nag-top 3 na siya eh. That's why he was able to represent the country sa what they call the Junior Davis Cup. That's, they played abroad sa Thailand. He represented the Philippines. In fact, isa nung mga kasama niya, or counterpart niya sa female, is this Alex Ayala, who recently won the French Open women's doubles. No? She won the... She was his contemporary actually, but of course she's really doing very well, and really a very gifted tenor and very a very good representative for the country.
Senator, you're very interested in sports also, right? I mean, in the Senate you have that committee. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I used to chair it, no, Dina. That was during my first term, 2013 to 2016. I was the chairman of sports and games, and we saw that we had to improve our support for our athletes. So we passed a law to increase the incentives for our athletes. So if they win a medal, a bronze medal, we doubled the amount that they would be getting from the government. So like a Olympic gold medalist, for instance, if Heidi Diaz or Carlos Yulo or Yuka Sasso wins a gold medal, they will get 5 million pesos, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 10 million from the government pagka nanalo sila dito sa Tokyo Olympics. So that, and then kasama rin yung coaches nila. Para yung coaches nila are incentivized to help our athletes. And of course, we're trying to help also our national teams, our basketball team. I don't know if you watched the game last night, no? Yung Gilas. We've also tried to help them in many respects. We recently nationalized si Ange Kwame, no, who plays for Ateneo. He was a big factor in our victory last night over the Koreans, where it's been 8 years since our last win against the Koreans. Magagaling talaga ang mga Koreano. They shoot very well. They're very disciplined. So to get a win over them is really an achievement for them.
Yeah, challenge. So, do you think we've gone far in terms of supporting our sports industry?
I think with the help of the private sector, kasi hindi kaya talaga ng gobyerno lahat, suportahan lahat. So I think the private sector has really stepped up. So if you look at Yuka Saso, she was sponsored by ICTSI, si Mr. Razon. If you look at the Philippine basketball team, they're sponsored by MVP Group, the MVP Group, no?
Right.
So may mga ganun talagang mga benefactors to our if you look at Alex Ayala, she's sponsored by in part by Globe. So they're really, the private sector has really contributed to the success of Philippine sports, whether it's team sports or individuals. But nonetheless, the government should also try to do what it can, at least to kung hindi nila ma-foster talaga yung world-class athletes, at least at the grassroots, try to give opportunities to our kids. Nakikita kasi natin, if you compare us kasi to like sa America or you go to a city like Paris, for example, there are so many public tennis courts, di ba? Pero dito sa Pilipinas, there are very few public tennis courts. So yun ang nakikita ko, which the government should really try to expand and improve on access to sports for our younger Filipinos.
Oo nga, no? So local governments can do a lot.
Yeah, kasi karamihan ng mga golf courses, tennis courts, badminton courts, you have to pay for them eh. Walang free dyan eh. So sino makakabayad dyan? Di ba? Kakaramihan nga ay private clubs. So it's really the only the very elite who can regularly avail of it. Kawawa naman yung mga, but if you go nga to like in London, each park may public tennis court dyan. Sa Paris, they have the most number of public tennis courts. Sa America, there are public golf courses, di ba? I think there's things we can learn, matututunan natin dito sa mga countries na ito. That's why also siguro the interest in these sports is very high because at every level, at every economic status, there is opportunity to partake or participate.
Agree.
You know, Senator is very alive na alive siya pag pinag-uusapan sports, no? Makikita mo talagang interested siya.
Passion.
And the children are very lucky because he's very supportive, lalo na kay Manolo, I guess. And he was saying na gusto rin niya na the other two would also be involved in sports. But I'd like to know how he is as a father. Yung father, mabait ba yan or matapang or
stricto?
Yeah, but before we ask him that, let's have a pause for
a short commercial.
Yeah. So, Senator, kumusta kayo? Ako ba kayo? Disciplinarian? Stricto ba kayo as a father?
I think I'm not that strict, to be honest. I think I'm a little more liberal because that was the way my father was also with me. He wanted me to, I think in some aspects, no? In terms of experiences, but when it came to safety, yan, medyo strict siya. Bawal kami mag-roller coaster, bawal kami mag-bisikleta nung bata kami. He was strict in that sense. But in terms of like going out, having curfews or chaperones, wala masyadong ganon. So I think we try to be a little more liberal. I think Toots is more of the disciplinarian in that sense.
Oh, mom.
Oo nga.
You have to be. But how would you compare yourself as a father with your dad? Like, in what
My
ways are
dad?
you similar or different?
I'm even more liberal, I think, than my father because yun nga, pagdating sa safety, sa health and safety, very, very, very cautious siya. Yun nga, he didn't even, a simple thing like riding a bicycle, ninenervyos na siya. So hindi naman ako ganon. I really want my kids to experience as much of a normal childhood as possible and experience all the experiences that kids enjoy, and to have their own barkada. But of course, at some point, you also have to try in your own way to guide them towards a bright future. Because if you feel that somehow maybe they're hanging out with friends who are negative influences, we tell them, we don't think this friend is helping you because they're negative, they're always complaining. You should hang out with friends who bring out the best in you. Minsan ginagano namin yung anak namin.
Okay.
Especially yung dalawang teenager namin. We think that's a very important piece of advice, because teenage years are very important, but at the same time, you want them to make their own choices. You don't want them to say you deprive them of opportunities, deprive them of experiences. No, we're here as parents. We're here to support whatever they want to achieve. Naman.
Yeah.
Ang Sigmaro used to hang out a lot sa Ipil Residence Hall. But I think I saw him once or twice lang. Unlike the others who were there all the time, no?
Saan yan, Jojo? Saan?
Ipil Residence Hall.
Sa Ipil,
yeah. I think a few times I saw you. But it was more like the others, no? But anyway, I'm asking this because sino ang better behaved? Yan bang your children? Or ikaw? Or ikaw? I mean, nung time
Yung
mo
bata ka
at
pa.
nung time nila.
Well, I think I wasn't so bad naman. I don't think I gave my parents a few headaches every now and then. Pero I think pareho lang. I don't think we're lucky in that sense. Our kids have their own moral compass also. And I think I also had that when I was young. Especially when my dad was already in public office. You didn't want to do anything to embarrass him naman, di ba? Kasi pag may ginawa kaming masama, balita yun, di ba? Pagpapiestahan ng media yun.
Hindi siya notorious.
Mabait.
Unlike other sons.
Okay.
You won't mention na lang.
So, when di ba parang pandemic kasi and the world is changing or will change most definitely, di ba? As a father, what are your concerns for your children? It's a very different world they'll be growing up into.
Well, I often think about that, especially when I was in the hospital with COVID, Jojo and Dina. No? I was thinking, why is, minsan you have a lot of time, nagiging philosophical kay. You're asking, why kaya did God allow the COVID pandemic? Maybe he's sending us some messages, di ba? What were the effects of the pandemic, whether intended or unintended? Well, we have to spend more time with our family, di ba? For some, that they like that. For others, medyo nasasakal sila. But it was really, Tutsi and I were talking, because we were both busy people before the pandemic. We spent a lot of time outside our household, outside the home. And during the past, I don't know, 18 months maybe, or 16 months, we've had the pleasure of spending so much time with our kids. And it's really been quite a blessing in that sense for us. Lucky na we were able to pursue our livelihood while also pursue our vocations, while at the same time spending time with our kids. And we really treasure those memories. Jojo and Dina, no? Yeah. But for the pandemic, how do we ensure? Well, the quality of education, we have to make sure they're still getting the same quality of education, because our kids go to 3 different schools, so we're trying to observe which ones have adapted better, no? Yung iba kasi, binibigay lang yung assignment, tapos nawawala na yung teacher, bahala na yung student. Yung iba naman, the whole day, the teacher is there with the student, and they are watching them. So, kanya-kanyang style, and we feel some have done it better than the others. So if we feel that way, we also try to supplement the experiences of our children to make sure they're not just wasting their time, they're not just spending time on gadgets, they're not just dancing on TikTok, among other things. No, we also want to make sure there's a balance. There's a balance in their life, no, between social, between emotional well-being, and also their mental development, yung life of the mind, among other things.
Yeah.
Senator, what's the difficult part about being a father? Anong challenge dyan?
Well, wala namang difficult sa akin, because I try to let them chart their own course. I think the difficulty is when parents become too controlling and they have their preconceived boxes where they want to, or preconceived roles that they want their kids to play. I guess this applies to people with family businesses or with dreams for their children. Like you have to become a lawyer, you have to become a doctor, or you have to work for the family business. Kami naman ni Tutsi, wala kaming ganong sa anak namin. In fact, we want to give them every opportunity to succeed, and sila yung pipili nung kanilang chosen paths. We just try to advise them and make sure that and equip them and give them all the tools and support in pursuit of their dreams. Yun ang talagang gusto namin. So I think in that sense, we've solved that. That we've seen that a lot among our friends minsan, or even in we've heard stories na yung mga ganun. Talagang mahirap dahil mag-aaway, magbubungguhan talaga, mag-uuntugan talaga yung mga magulang at saka yung anak kapag ganun. They're trying to impose something that may not be suited for their children.
Okay.
Senator, how will it be like when someone visits Ines? Paano yun? Okay lang ba
When
sa'yo?
someone
Visits Ines. Pag may mali daw
actually,
na.
meron na nga eh.
Oo nga. Oo.
But it's really something. It's part of growing up. I think they want to new people and have new experiences. We just have to make sure they don't cross certain lines.
What do you tell the boys about girls?
I'm sorry. Do I talk to the boys?
What do you tell the boys about girls?
Your sons.
Yeah.
Well, we tell them that that everything they do has consequences. Diba? They have to know that certain actions have certain consequences. Kaya that could really impact on their future. So sometimes teenagers can get carried away with their emotions. Diba? Minsan yung relationships nila, minsan na yung mundo nila. So we have to tell them, not. Although it may feel that way, it's not doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sort of make that your whole world. And it's all about balance in your life. You should balance your relationships. You should balance your dreams, your ambitions.
Okay, Senator, we're curious kasi di ba you talked about challenges. Ano naman yung happiest? Like, what are the 3 happiest moments in your fatherhood so far?
That's very easy, Dina, kasi I have 3 children.
Yeah.
So the 3 days they were born.
Yeah.
That's 2004, 2005, 2011.
Ayun.
Those are the 3 happiest days of my fatherhood, because those are the 3 days I became a father on separate occasions. And I have to thank my wife for that. And again, we thank God because yun nga, we're very fortunate in many respects, di ba? Kasi magkasama kami sa bahay, walang kailangan umalis para magtrabaho, wala namang may sakit amin. So, we should count our blessings. I always try to impart that to my children. That sometimes they complain a lot, sometimes they nitpick, sometimes they're in a bad mood. We always tell them, you should in life you should always count your blessings.
Yes.
Dapat and when you have attitude, I think you will become more successful, and people will appreciate you more.
Yeah, gratitude, attitude.
Senator, have they been joining you sa campaigns?
In the past, yung 2013, they did. Pero bata pa kasi sila eh. So, alam mo, hindi sila sanay yung maglalakad sa palengke 3 oras eh. Hindi na nga sila tumatagal ng 1 oras, naiinitan na, gusto na pumasok ng kotse. Nakasuot pa ng chaleco, parang hindi sanay eh. Pero we've made sure to bring them to all our campaigns. Even when I was running for, they would all see how it is. So they see how people really live, di ba? That in a campaign is really a glimpse into the lives of others and to the problems of others. So I think it's important to expose them.
Speaking of that, di ba, I'd like to know what programs you've created to help our kababayans improve their lives also.
Yeah, you mentioned a few during the introduction, Dina and Jojo. No, thank you for that. Pero tingin ko really it's about opening doors and opportunities for our kababayans. So we think two very effective ways are through education, number one, and
Yes.
through healthcare, number two. Kasi yun talaga ang ambition uh, ng bawat pamilya para sa kanilang mga anak
True.
for their kids to have a good education, for them to grow up healthy, so they can realize their dreams. So yung free college law, that was very important. The universal healthcare law, although I think that needs improvement in the implementation, but through the universal healthcare law kasi pinaganda yung programa ng PhilHealth, and everyone is automatically a member of PhilHealth, whether dati kasi yun pag nagbayad ka lang ng premium, that's the only time you can avail of yung tulong ng PhilHealth. Pero ngayon, kahit hindi ka miyembro, nagkasakit ka, pumunta ka sa ospital, sasagutin nila yung hospitalization mo at yung paggamot mo.
Ganda.
That's under the universal healthcare law.
Yeah.
And that relieves a lot of poor families of the burden.
Yeah.
Kasi minsan, pag may nagkasakit sa pamilya, sa probinsya, I've seen it many times, especially when I was congressman. Once they undergo dialysis, wow, ubos talaga ang pera nila because you're talking about thousands just for one session of dialysis. And sometimes you need 3 sessions a week. Tapos yung transportation pa dahil hindi naman lahat ng cities or towns may dialysis center. So I think making healthcare affordable is really a big help to our less fortunate people. So you mentioned also the rare diseases law, yung mental health law. Those are just variations on the theme of helping our poor families through improving our healthcare system. No, that's really one big help for them. Tapos yung pagtanggal ng tax natin for our seniors and for our persons with disabilities, we remove the value-added tax, so they get their discounts in full. That's also big. And one professor approached me in a forum. Sabi niya, "Thank you, Senator, kasi I spend 24,000 a month for my son's medicines." Parang may pinapagamot siya for a mental ailment. So sabi niya, "Oh, you saved me so many thousands by that bill." So yung mga little things like that, palagay ko nakakatulong. But going forward, gusto ko naman mag-focus sa kasi we've tackled the education and the healthcare problem in the legislature. Meaning, I don't think we need better laws for that. We just need better implementation and better funding of those laws. But pag tinitingnan ko yung landscape ng ating mga kababayan, yung landscape ng ating politika, ano pa yung kulang? Bakit? And I see many of our countrymen still leaving. We have 10 million overseas Filipino workers or OFWs. So the problem, I think, lies in creating jobs really at home. And how do we do that? We have to support our Philippine industry. So I launched, before the pandemic, I tried to conceptualize a Tatak Pinoy initiative, meaning a proudly Filipino initiative. Because napansin ko, even though we're an agricultural country, we like to import onions, we like to import garlic, we like to, even galunggong, can you imagine? A very available fish like galunggong, we want to eat it.
Grabe.
We've gotten to that, I think it's too much, and we need to really focus our talents and abilities into developing Philippine industries so we can say we're proud to make this product, and in the process also develop the potentials of the countryside, of our population. Paano nga, marami kang edukadong graduates pero wala ka naman trabaho para sa kanila. So what's going to happen? You're just educating for migration. Mag-aalisan din yan. So you need to develop the industries in every province, every city, every municipality of the country. And it will be difficult. It's a big, big challenge. That's why I think itong Tatak Pinoy, we need the help of the private sector. We need the help of every government agency, to create cities with vibrant tourism, cities with vibrant agriculture, towns or provinces with vibrant agricultural sectors, towns with vibrant universities with the vibrant research and development. Kasi a lot of our scientists are also leaving. So yung mga high-end type of jobs, they don't want to stay here because there are not that many opportunities. So the government needs to work very well with the private sector to create those opportunities.
His father was also a champion of food and education and agriculture, no? So I'd like to ask the senator kung paano siya in terms of his father. I mean, who is the better legislator?
Ito na naman si
But before that, let's pause
for another break.
Montero Sport. Elevate your journey.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
Iba ng panahon, ang dami ng bago ngayon. Pati ang mundo natin, well, nagbago na rin. Buti ano bayan, bigger, better na. You can buy it sa centers, pati sa mga partners, may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers, still don't remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Anumang pera transaction, you can buy it all.
Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayan.
So, Senator Sonny, in what way are you like your father, and in what way are you different from him?
Well, my father's really my idol in public service, no, and even in as a lawyer, he accomplished so much. He did so much for the profession, the integrated bar. He united them, and he created that sense of professional responsibility for a lawyer. You're not just an ordinary professional. You have a duty to serve the public. So I'll start with that. And then when he became a lawmaker, he was so productive, so prolific, so hardworking. He sacrificed a lot. So I think my dad is really, really way better than me. But that's not to say that I can't maybe try to approach what I really try to approach what he does and his success in my career. And I madalas tinatanong ko sa sarili ko, ano bang gagawin ng tatay ko dito sa sitwasyon na to? How would he approach this problem? Because he was really a very good manager and problem solver. So there are many skills I feel I still have not developed or obtained that my father had. So I'm trying to still, every year you try to improve yourself, acquire new skills, and be better. I'm still in that process. And in what way are we different? Well, I guess in terms of our approaches, I think even in some of I think I focus more on economic issues than he did. He did a lot of the education, the health, and the agriculture. But I think that's also a product of every lawmaker, I suppose, a producto ng environment. In our environment, what are the problems? And he saw the problems as, a lot of kids don't go to school, a lot of kids don't get medicines, don't get to see doctors. So he tried to provide for that by creating all of these wonderful institutions that give scholarships. Like he created PhilHealth, he created TESDA, he created CHED.
Yeah.
Sa akin naman, I see, as I mentioned a while ago, I see where we've made progress on that front, on the education front, on the healthcare front, and we've made the government, in a sense, better in giving out these services. Pero yun nga, what will make our population stay? What will keep our families together? We have to work on our economy. We have to work on our the microeconomies all out there. Lahat ng probinsya dapat merong tinutulungan yung pamahalaan para umangat ang mga kababayan natin. Because let's face it, in many provinces, a lot of the working population leaves. So some of the young people aalis talaga yan. So there is no the family life is disrupted in that town, di ba? So we have to have a more balanced economic development. So yun yung sinasabi natin with this Tatak Pinoy. We can really help our talented Filipinos market Filipino products, improve Filipino entrepreneurs, introduce them to the global supply chains. All of these things, very difficult things. So it's a more challenging because hindi mo masasolve by just giving money to the problem. You really have to. There are a million different problems you have to solve at different junctures. So yun ang challenge for us going forward.
Yeah, I was just thinking, sabi ko, it's a bit overwhelming parang when you're thinking about it. I mean, it's a very noble aim, di ba? Goal to really push the Filipino, tatak Filipino, di ba? And I think everybody would support that. But do you think you will have the support of other government agencies? Kasi I think you need to synergize your efforts.
Yes. It's very, very, very. In fact, ang envision ko is not like a centralized program that you tell them, oh, these are the goals. In fact, what I'm trying to do is create a social network. That's more attuned to, I think, to what how we create things, how do we sell product, how we socialize nowadays. It's more of a social network that involves you're trying to, kasi karamihan nung government agencies, they work in silos. So now we're trying to get everyone to work together towards these goals. And what are these goals? To empower Filipinos in any way we can, whether you're an individual entrepreneur. So what we do is we tell DTI, you create these shared facilities. So the entrepreneurs can come and use your digital printers. For DA, you create ay shared pang-araro, 'di ba? Yung tractor. O shared 'yan ha. Dito sa bayan na 'to, pwedeng gamitin 'yan nitong magbubukid dito. So yun yung ano natin. How do we raise all boats, figuratively speaking? Is for government to provide some of these facilities for our young people. And then nakita nila, they will be inspired. I think we feed on the success of others also. So when we see people succeed, pwede pala, di ba? And to be honest, we're encountering a lot of resistance also, di ba? Parang, we'll never be successful in manufacturing. May mga ganung attitudes, di ba? Yeah. And yet, if you go, I've been around the country, I've been to places like Santo Tomas in Batangas. They manufacture airplane parts there. They manufacture the kitchens for airplanes, for Boeing 747s. They manufacture the kitchens, the bathrooms. So, they also manufacture, your cell phone. You have parts here that help start it up faster, di ba? That's, in manufacturing and selling products, it's all about faster computing, etc. So, if we can make little parts of these things, why can we not be more ambitious and try to create more value-added products? Yun ang point ko, I guess. So in every aspect, try to be a little bit better and to try to... and in fact, they say we can succeed in manufacturing, but honestly, nagulat rin yung mga companies na kala nila they would just be hiring blue-collar workers in the country. Pero nakita nila, ang gagaling pala ng mga Filipino designers, ang gagaling pala ng Filipino architects, ang gagaling pala ng Filipino engineers and scientists. So they actually we have this phenomenon where it's a reverse brain drain. Rather than our engineers going to the Middle East, rather than our doctors going to Ireland or Italy, some companies are actually bringing back Filipinos to work in the country. So I think there is potential there, and that's something I'd like to pursue in the last 4 years of my Senate term.
Wow, 4 years na lang.
Yeah. Naalala ko, si Senator Angara, the elder one, and his wife were very supportive of arts and culture. And you can say the same thing of this young couple. Young couple. Young naman, di ba?
Oo naman.
Si Sonny
Relatively.
Sonny and Tutsi, they have beautiful artworks by Filipino artists right at home. So they're also very supportive of the arts. But there's something else that I've been thinking of. They're very lucky because the children are lucky because the father is not controversial. So people talk about his achievements and all that. Hindi naman babaero. Hindi naman...
Puro good things.
Hindi naman mamamatay tao. But he's with an administration that has had its share of criticism. So, normal, di ba? But how is that talked about at home? Are the children very conscious of certain criticisms against the administration?
Yeah. They in fact they ask me about the issues. Like if there's a bill being talked about in the news, tatanungin nila, what's your stand on that? Things like death penalty law. Yeah, we always have that discussion because they go to Catholic schools. So the Catholic schools tell them this is the right view. They tell them what is the view of the church, and then when we discuss it, I say these are the different views on the topic. No? This is the view in this country. Dito sa country na to, ito yung approach. So it's a nice discussion, and it's nice that they're becoming politically conscious and aware also.
Oh, as they're growing up. Diba?
Oo. Malaki na talaga.
Oo. May magkakampanya na dyan.
Pero I'm really happy that you've identified that Tatak Filipino. I really support that. So we'll help you with that.
Yes, please. Let us know. Kasi nga, it covers the whole country. So there are places where we've never been. We don't know what the manpower is like there. We don't know what the schools are like there. Di ba? Everybody, it's something that everybody, sabi nyo nga, everyone will support it, and that's the idea really. It's not something, I don't want to make it an Angara initiative. It's a Tatak Pinoy initiative. It's a national initiative for our country, di ba? Kasi it's something no one will oppose really, and then talagang makakatulong sa lahat, di ba? So,
kailangan lang noon may vision and plan.
Yeah, I just see myself as someone who tries to bring people together, di ba? Parang telling, DTI, you work together with the stakeholders, with the young entrepreneurs para they can make better products. They can know where to sell their products. Alam nila saan sila mangungutang, kung kailangan nila ng pondo, kung mag-hire sila, saan sila kukuha ng trabahador. Yung mga ganun, little weaknesses in the system, we'll just try to plug them, di ba?
At saka after the pandemic, lahat gustong want to do something.
That's something
lahat,
that's something everybody realized nga over the pandemic, that there's so much potential and promise right here at home, di ba? So I think that should be tapped.
Lahat nagluluto. Lahat nag-garden.
So anyway, before we end the afternoon with the senator, we have a little game where we will show you pictures that we found on social media, and then tell us a little bit about those photos, please.
Okay.
Ayan.
We're gonna ask him kung sino sa palagay niya sa mga anak nila.
Oo nga, yun pala yung game. Sorry.
Dear, pwede na ba tayo?
Okay, so we start with a question and who's most likely to, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that
game.
one.
Okay.
There, among your children.
Who is most likely to be a heartbreaker?
Well, they're all very cute. They're kids, pero I think my daughter, si Ines, I think she'll be the heartbreaker.
Pero pogi rin si Manolo, ha?
Yeah. He's also getting attention from the other sex.
Okay, so Ines, watch out. Okay, who's most likely to be the most caring in the family?
I think our bunso, because he's very affectionate. He likes to spend time with his parents. In fact, he's 10 years old, but he still sleeps with us.
Cute.
And you know,
and he, pag umaalis kami ng bahay, medyo nagagalit siya.
Very close.
and if there are guests, he really hangs around the parents. He's also there, and he participates.
Kilala ni kaibigan ni Jojo yun, si Javier.
Yeah, I think you wrote about that, how cute. The personalities of the children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here he is.
Oh, hi.
Hey, this is Shola.
We're talking about you.
Yeah, I think he heard his name, so he came.
Okay, next. Who's most likely to have a reality show?
That's either Javier or Ines, because they're both entertainers. They both like to sing. Si Ines is a very good dancer. Medyo mahiyain lang. But si Javier naman mahilig magsalita. He's a trivia buff. Tapos mahilig magbasa, mahilig manood ng TV. So he's I guess you'd call him like a culture vulture in a way, because he likes things about the culture, movies, yan. So he's the type who can talk diretso.
Pwede siya talk show.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Who's most likely to be a politician?
Most likely
To
to be a
end it.
politician.
Public service.
Maybe Manolo. Because we were saying before, even when he was small, we would bring him to the provinces. And hindi siya takot eh. Nilalapitan niya lahat ng tao, nakikipagkamay pa siya. So I think, although he's become a little more reserved as he got older, pero andun pa rin yung hindi siya mahiyain. Tsaka he makes friends wherever he goes. So I think he could be one. No?
Okay.
And I guess he was named after the great president,
That's right.
Manuel Quezon.
Yeah, his name is Edgardo Manuel, actually. So he's named
pareho
after my
pala.
father, Edgardo. He's also named after Manuel Quezon, who's our province mate or town mate sa Baler.
Yeah.
So we're very proud. We're very proud of that fact, no?
Yeah, yeah.
And the last, who's most likely to forget their dad's birthday?
All of them. I think.
Ganon.
Really?
All of them.
Mas sweet
No,
sila
but my
kayo.
wife never forgets my birthday.
Oh,
That's the
important.
consolation. Oh.
Parang may story doon eh. So, among
And my wife never lets me forget her birthday
Of
because
course.
before her birthday is June 6. So mga June 4 pa lang, marami na siyang, what should I do on my birthday? Marami siya ganun para hindi ko makalimutan, di ba? Hindi siya nagpapahalata, pero it's her indirect way of I know
Reminding.
it's a skill of women eh. They have a way of indirectly telling you things. So.
Yes.
My God.
Among your 3 children, who's most similar to you in terms of I guess some
Character?
personality, or
It's hard to tell. I think they're still works in progress. Eh. So I think si Manolo, his interest in sports, he got that from me. I think they all like to read. But it's hard to tell who. It's not a one-to-one correspondence. Eh. So I think there's different parts of their personality that they get from both of us, actually, not just from me.
Okay, so Jojo,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this conversation. Getting to know.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on your show, Dina and Jojo. Salamat.
Let's ask the senator to give a short message
Yes.
to other fathers in the country. Yeah.
Well, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there like myself. And we hope you're enjoying spending time with your families. And of course, always remember that fatherhood is a gift. It's a gift to us, and it's something we should not take for granted. And hopefully you're enjoying, and the pandemic is not making things too hard. Hindi masyadong mahirap, at nandito naman tayo para tumulong kung sakali. So to all the fathers, all the families out there, God bless. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much, and happy Father's Day also to you. We hope you have a great weekend with your family, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and for now we say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us on Spotlight. This is Dina Ventura,
This is Jojo Silvestre.
and see you again next week.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Dina. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, SM.
Senator.
To the digital team, salamat. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Senator. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jojo. Salamat, Dina. Thank you.
Enjoy
Thanks very
your
much.
day.
It's a lot of fun. Very light. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was-
Please say hello to Tootsie for
Yeah.
us.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. She can actually hear. She's coming in and out of the room. So naririnig
Oh.
niya yung iba.
Okay.
Regards.
Salamat. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Let's go.